All right, let's review our words one more time. We have birth, firm, chirp. We have IGH, the long I sound, thigh, tight, light. We have I consonant E, spine, whine, crime. And we have IRE, ire, spire, hire, fire. Okay, now remember, biographies, true story of someone's life. Prejudiced forms opinions that are formed about people or situations without good reasons. Judged is to form an opinion about something, good or bad. An insult is to say something really ugly just to hurt someone's feelings. And then daring shows an adventurous sense of courage, okay? We'll find out how Jackie is daring. All right, we're going to continue with Jackie Robinson by Sally Walker. The Major Leagues. Brooklyn, New York, April 11th, 1947. So he did make it to the majors. Jackie looked up at the crowd. He could hardly believe it. He was a real Brooklyn Dodger, number 42, playing first base. The Dodgers were up against the New York Yankees in a preseason game. Jackie pounded his fist into his glove and leaned forward. He would be ready if the ball came his way. Jackie didn't get any hits in that game, but he drove in 3 runs. Winning the game was easy enough. Winning the support of some of his new teammates was not. A few made rude comments. Others kept open minds. Now I have to stop and clarify here because that does not make sense to me. I thought he was on the team because he was a great player. The other players should be glad to have him. But I guess that people must have been really so prejudiced that it didn't matter. I'll have to read on to see whether he can get them to get over that prejudice. Eddie Stanky and Pee Wee Reese were helpful. They gave Jackie tips on how to improve his skills at first base. Jackie worked hard at practice. He would do his best for his new team. The season opened on April 15th. Jackie received letters full of hatred. Some people threatened to kill him or hurt his family if he kept playing. Jackie heard plenty of insults on the playing field, too. He tried to remember Mally's lesson back on Pepper Street. People needed time to get used to change. Jackie kept his promise to Branch Rickey. He didn't fight back. He didn't show how terrible he felt inside. That takes a lot of courage. On April 22nd, the Dodgers played the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies' insults were the worst yet. Jackie thought he would explode. Then his teammate, Eddie Stanky, started yelling. "Listen, you yelly-bellied cowards," he shouted at the Phillies. "Why don't you yell at somebody who can answer back?" Jackie realized that he wasn't alone. He clenched his teeth and hung on. So he's starting to have a friend. Slowly, Jackie's new teammates got to know him. Once he felt more at home, he caught fire on the playing field. His bat blasted out base hits. He stole base after base, even home plate. The fans loved him for his daring, his adventurous courage. It takes a lot of guts to steal home plate. Jackie's rookie season was a great one. He led the National League in stolen bases. He scored 125 runs. The Sporting News named him the 1947 Rookie of the Year. No one could ever again say that a black man was not good enough to play Major League Baseball. The next year in August, Jackie finally lost his temper. But it wasn't about insults. The umpire threw one of the Dodgers out of the game. Jackie got mad. He stormed out of the dugout, shouting. The umpire threw him out too. Jackie could tell that it wasn't because he was black. Yelling at the umpire is against the rules. The umpire had simply treated Jackie like any other ball player. After all that Jackie had been through, that felt fine because it felt fair. Jackie knew that his hard times in baseball were not over. American sports still had a long way to go to become truly fair to all players. But thanks to Jackie and those who helped him, the days when race was more important than skills was gone for good. And I'm going to read you the afterword. It says, Jackie played for the Brooklyn Dodgers for 10 years, mostly at second base. Many other courageous athletes joined the struggle to make baseball open to players of all races. They included Larry Doby, Roy Campanella, and Satchel Paige. Jackie's many honors as a Dodger included being named the National League's Most Valuable Player in 1949. When he retired from baseball, he worked in a business and became active in the Civil Rights Movement. In 1962, he became the first African American to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Jackie Robinson died in 1972 at the age of 53. It was not until 1975 that a black man, Frank Robinson of the Cleveland Indians, finally became a major league team manager. As in many areas of American life, people are still working hard toward equal treatment for all in sports. And I hope you've enjoyed our book about Jackie Robinson.